Well, good morning. It's coffee morning again. Today's a weird day. It's a happy day and it's a sad day. New reasons for it to be a happy day, though, other than it's my wedding anniversary. What has it been? Has it been six years now? That's pretty good. Hanging in there. All right. But it's also a good day because I talked about it yesterday, and magically it showed up at my door this morning. We will no longer be using this. It can go away. I got this Hario V60 drip scale. Now, a V60 is a version of this, but it's basically just the top. For the most part, there are different versions of it, but the main version that I'm aware of is that it is this, just the top, and it can be plastic or glass, and then you put this part over top of the carafe that it's going into, or the mug that it's going into, and then you just brew from up here. It's basically just like this Chemex, except portable and maybe a little bit more a little bit more wieldy, because this as it is okay. I've talked about how the collar is a pain in the butt from a lot of different standpoints, from a cleaning standpoint, from a grip standpoint. This ball, if it's in the back, it's hard to grip. There's just a lot of different little problems with it that the V60 doesn't have. I've not used a V60. Someday maybe I'll get a V60 and we'll give it a try, but until then, this is a V60 drip scale. What's really cool about it, and hey, look, instructions. What's really great about it is that it has a timer. So what's going to happen, I'm going to put this aside over here. We're going to throw it away later because we don't really need it anymore. It takes 2 AAA batteries. That's great. I have lots of AAA batteries. So we're going to replace that. It comes with Maxwell batteries. I didn't know they still made Maxwell batteries. This is it. And it's a scale. So we on it. Boom. And there's our timer. And there's our weight in grams. And it's basically all you need is grams. And what does it say here? Can we read it? Max 2,000 grams. Yeah. So, and then a bunch of math. Great. So basically, what you do with this is it's all about timing. With what we're going to do today, it's all about timing and weight. To chase the perfect cup of coffee, as the people that I've been watching on YouTube have been striving to do for a while. This particular recipe or brew requires 30 grams of coffee to 500 grams of water. And 500 grams of water is basically big enough for 2 cups of coffee, to put that in a scale. This is a large cup, so, you know, regular cup of coffee, not Matt cup of coffee. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little basket here from our Encore. I'm going to put it on here. We're going to see. Okay, so there it went. It's a little laggy. Meh. It's all right. We're not in that big of a hurry. And we're going to weigh out what's left of our strawberry cheesecake. Now, I will say this at the very start. This technique, described by James Hoffman on his web channel, is for the V60. It's not for the Chemex, except it is for the Chemex because they're basically the same delivery system for water and coffee. So this just has its own base to it. The V60 is just the top. This is the entire thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 30 grams of coffee. We're going to, which I think is probably what's left in here. What I was going to say. This is meant for. This is good for me. For a coffee connoisseur, for somebody that's really into coffee. That wants coffee just as it comes. It's roasted, it's sent, it's ground, it's done. There's nothing in between, like adding flavors. They would probably think that this is terrible. I personally enjoy it because I think it's a fun flavor, but they would probably think that this is awful. So everybody's mileage, of course, as always, may vary. So we're going to measure out and see how much is left in here. Okay, so 27 grams. I think that's good enough. This is a medium. This is a medium roast. So that should be good enough, I would think. It should be, because it needs to be, because that's all the coffee that's left in that bag. So we're going to stick this in here. Put this down here. And we're going to bean it up. All right. That's what roughly 30 grams of coffee looks like. Cool. Smells like strawberries. It just does. It smells like strawberry, which is good because it's what we're looking for. So here we are, putting it in here. Notably, this is a lot less than I would normally put in there, which would tell me that I'm probably been putting too much in here. So I should start weighing everything out, especially now that I've got this great scale. I should definitely start weighing things out. So, all right. So now what we need to do, I forgot to do this, didn't I? We'll turn on our heat. We'll get ourselves up to boiling, 200 degrees-ish, and go from there. Yeah, I was just watching a video, and here's, you know, they're talking about scales with stop and start timers. These are all touch-based. See, there it goes, seconds. There we go. The seconds are ticking. Buttons are a little weird. Zero? It does zero. Okay. Buttons are a little, I don't know. They're interesting. You do have to firm press, which makes sense, I guess. This is the one that was recommended. And what's nice is I had enough points on my credit card from where I'd bought tires, from where I'd bought wheels, from where I'd bought the most expensive mileage visit to the mechanic that you can have on my car, all at the same time. That was fun. So I had enough credit card points saved up to where I could transfer that to the Amazon gift card, and so I got this, and it didn't cost me anything except a set of wheels, tires, and a service. So I'm not bitter about the service. I'm really not. But anyway, so yeah, that's not a lot. To me, that just doesn't seem like a lot of coffee, does it? So this method is similar to the V60 method. So, and as you can see, we've got 609 grams, which is nice. But we can do this, and boom, it's zero. So when we add our water, and it'll be 500 grams of water that we put in here. And we will do, we'll do a 45-second bloom, and it will take about 4 minutes for every 4.5 minutes for everything to process. With the V60, according to the video that I watched, the V60 takes about 2.5 minutes, and it's because the opening's a little different, and the paper's a little different. This is a bigger, thicker paper, I think, than the V60. So I'll have to get one of those someday. How much does this pull off? With the water, it takes 46.6, and this scale has a point on it. So once it gets to a certain amount, it starts giving you point. So it's like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 grams, which is nice and also very helpful when you're chasing grind size and water amount. So 120. All right. Why is today sad? Well, yeah, it's the anniversary of a good friend passing away, and that's always sad. I mean, it's been, so what, 1999, and then you do math, so 2019 was 20 years. So 23 years, 24 years? Yeah. Is it 24 years? My brain is befuddled. Yesterday I was doing a bunch of editing, and there was a point in recording and editing, and there was a point during the editing process where my brain just went, stop. So I had to stop because, I don't know. I think I was just, it was just a lot. And it seems like working your brain muscle is a lot like working your physical muscles. There's just a point where you do it too much and you're not used to doing it so much, so you have to stop for your own well-being. So, you know, I had to do that yesterday, and I'm still kind of recovering from that. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to continue to do more videos and more editing today in a series that's coming up on Monday. Pretty excited about that. But back to the sadness. Oh gosh, it's really interesting. Being sentimental, incredibly, extremely sentimental like I am. It's still rough. There's still times when I just break down and, you know. But, you know, there's so much other stuff going on right now. But you know what? And that's the fun thing about being a human being. You can think about many things all at once. You know, you don't have to focus on one thing. It's not just one thing. You know, you can, your mind wants to travel. Your mind wants to, you know, not just focus on one thing all the time. Like yesterday, I was focusing on one thing for like 3 or 4 hours. And then my brain's like, nope, you're done. You need to step away because I have stopped functioning for this particular exercise. So, I mean, you just have to stop. Or risk, you know, you have to stop or you risk burnout. You risk burnout, you risk mental health problems. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing. But like I said, it's the best part about being human is that we're not based so much on instinct as we are on processing the situations that are around us. And we can do that. And we can do that with multiple situations. I mean, you know, we can make coffee while mulling over the national debt, while, you know, thinking about the next episode of Picard, while, you know, wondering if I need to get milk, you know, while I see a car go by out of the window, you know. So, ooh. In order to get the 500 grams of water, I kind of had to fill it up just a little bit more than I would normally do it, but it seems to have boiled up fairly well. And I heard it psst on the thingy, so it's like, ooh, yeah, I think we're boiling. So, all right. So let's do a blooming period. We're going to get everything nice and wet. I need to start my timer. So we're going to let it bloom for about 45 seconds. We're going to do about 50 grams. And let it bloom. I don't know if it's specifically 50 grams. It may be 75. It may be 45. I don't really remember. This is just what is coming up in my head right now. So we're going to do about 50 grams. I'm a little over. And we're going to let it bloom for about... You can all see the timer here, right? Okay, this is the boring part. We'll make it 40 seconds just to be... And then this is going to be including the blooming, this is going to be a 4-minute pour over. So, $145, I'm going to get a spoon. There are, I need to do a little bit more research and get through the increments, because there's like a pour and then wait, and then a pour and then wait, and then a pour and then wait, which is why it's drawn out to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So, but it is a technique. I swear, it is a thing. It's not a. I'm not pranking you. It's not April yet. There is a technique. I mean, this is what coffee should be. Coffee should be Zen. You know, coffee shouldn't be part of a morning routine that includes chaos. And I know that's really hard for a lot of people to not have. It makes sense. $4.99. Being pedantic now. $4.99. Got my spoon ready. I'm going to agitate the bed just a little bit. Make sure we get everything through. And I said, give the bed a little bit of a swirl. Swirl your bed just a little bit, not too much. There we go. Okay, I'm glad. It went back, well, it went down just a gram, but that's okay. I don't mind that so much. So it goes up to 99.9 grams, and then the hundreds take over. So by the time you get to like 100, I don't think you worry about the point grams as much. It's nice to be able to do something like this and almost match the result that you just saw on TV. That's always fun. You're making a cake, you're making a roasting a chicken, and it comes out, or making pork chops, and you're like, I did everything that they said that they did, and holy cow, it looks just like what they did. And, I'm here smiling, because this tastes great, just like they were smiling on TV. Okay, so about a 5-minute, I guess. Very close. I will say, this is different paper than he used. This is unbleached, just regular, heavier paper, I guess, than he used on his. So, again, as always, everyone's mileage may vary. So we're going to go for about 5.5 minutes here and not sweat it so much. I want to see the bed. I want to see how the bed of coffee turns out. I may have ground it a little too fine. There's so many variables. There are just when you're making a cup of coffee, or when you're making a coffee like this, there are so many different variables that will change the temperature, the amount of coffee extracted, the amount of water that passes through, the rate at which the water passes through. So we're going on 6 minutes now. So I think we're going to stop. See, that's a very even looking bed underneath all of that. You don't want to squeeze it. I don't want to squeeze it. And then again, I don't want to drag it across the countertop either. Okay, so we'll just take it off here. And we will just put it over here. It's kind of pretty. Okay, first use here. Gotta say, pretty cool. Maybe these are more touch sensitive. I think they are maybe a little bit more touch sensitive. But yeah, I like this thing. This is great. What a great scale. It seems it's incredibly accurate. At least it seems to be. Cool. Well, there's our new coffee scale. It's exciting. Who'd have thought several years ago I'd be like, I'm gonna make coffee. I'm gonna show it on YouTube. Like I know anything about coffee. But you learn, and it's fun to learn. And when you can run, it's like a child discovering something and then running to their parents and being like, look at this, or look what I drew. Look at this. Look at the circle that's not a circle, but it almost looks like a circle that I drew. It's just that mentality where you're like, I discovered something. I want other people to see that this exists, just in case they don't know it exists. And that's. We lose that a lot in life, That looks nice, and it smells, well, it smells like strawberries, so that's very exciting. I like the color. So yeah, there's 2 cups in that. Very cool. So 500 grams of water to 30 grams of coffee ground up. And I may want to take my settings just a little bit finer next time. Try this again tomorrow with a different coffee. Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's like I said before. If a person with a palate for coffee were to drink this, they would probably throw up. I mean, and it's not because the Bones Coffee Company is a bad company. It's just that they cater to not them. They cater to people like me who like different, maybe sometimes strange things like strawberry cheesecake in a coffee. And I think that that's really nice. I really enjoy that. It's mellow. You can taste the coffee, but you also get a nice little hit of strawberry. And the cheesecake part of it is really weird. That's really up for interpretation. There's definitely a nice creaminess at the end, which you could probably say would be the cheesecake. But it's definitely, the strawberry is definitely there. Yeah. Oh, that's really great. I really like that. Before I close out, I don't have the phone number and I don't have a website, so I'm going to put that down in the link description. Suicide is a sad thing. If you are contemplating suicide, know that there are people who want to help you, who want you in their lives, who want you to still be there for them, just as they want to be there for you. You are not alone. Clayton thought he was alone. A lot of his friends were 200 miles away, trying to figure things out for themselves. And unfortunately, that's what happened. I mean, he thought he was alone, and he did something that he did something that I think we can all agree, even though, I know people don't like to talk bad of the dead, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. We should totally talk about everything about the dead because they're dead. Not just because they're dead, but because we should be open about our feelings towards everything. He did something stupid. It just was. It was just stupid. And he felt like everybody abandoned him. When in fact we were just trying to move forward with our lives and get the heck out of where we were living at the time, because where we were living at the time, there is no growth. My home city, my hometown, my home strip of state route with no stoplight on it. There's no growth there. There's nothing there. And we needed to get out. And unfortunately, we got out at a time when he felt that we abandoned him. And I wish I could tell him that we didn't. Or at the very least, we didn't mean to make him feel like he was. But that was over 20 years ago. And we probably should, not dwell on it. We can't dwell on it anymore. We can celebrate who he was. We can celebrate the fun that we had with him, and we had so much fun with him. We can celebrate the fact that we said that he was a fucking idiot so many times because of what he did. He bought a lottery ticket, and I think he won $600 with that lottery ticket. He went out and he bought a box of garbage cigars that we proceeded to get sick on, and he bought so many CDs. So many CDs that I don't even think he listened to. And then his sister gave me a box full of Star Trek commemorative plates that he bought off of the Home Shopping Channel back in the late 90s. I mean, that was just him. And I miss him very much. But it's okay. It's okay to be sad, but it's okay to remember that he was a fucking idiot. A lovable fucking idiot. I miss you, Clayton, but it's okay. Have a good morning. We'll see you tomorrow.